if WAPO joins Crossskill? Now, the reason why I'm starting to think this is because there are a lot of weird connections between WAPO and Crocodile that you can make, and a lot of these may or may not happen in the future or mean anything in the future, but I just wanted to bring attention to them. So we now know that WAPO 1 saw Emu, which is weird because why him? Outside of the usual suspects and some weird guys like Cobra and Sabo. But that's weird to begin with. Second of all, we know that he's always had a history with Vivi as he slapped her as a child at a previous leveling, and now he has escaped with her and are now under the roof of Morgan's. What's weird about this is that because he has an intimate relationship with Morgan's, he could have an intimate relationship with the underworld, because Morgan's presumably is a member of the underworld in one way or another, because it's weird that he is accompanied by various figureheads of the underworld in Whole Cake during his first appearance at Big Mom's tea party. But on top of that, we know that Vivi has always been associated with Crocodile because she was a part of his criminal organization Baroque Works, and along with the Straw Hats worked to take Crocodile down and release Alabasta from his clutches. But what's also quite interesting is that in order to cause distress and unrest in Alabasta, Crocodile used a powder called Dead's Powder in order to provide rain to some areas and steal it away from others. And he did this via silver he bought from the underworld, which is an ingredient needed in order to make dance powder. So it's very interesting that even back then he was always connected to the underworld, because now, because of him and his underworld connections, Crossskill is able to function and give out rewards for the bounties of Marines. So with that being said, it's quite funny that WAPO is also too connected to a metal, connected to an alloy, because in the WAPO cover story, we find out that through the use of his Munch Munch fruit abilities, he can chew up garbage and create something called WAPO metal, which is a shape memory alloy, which characters like Frankie use in order to make his giant mecha called the Iron Pirate General Frankie. So it's weird that WAPO, of all characters, is given so much importance in this way. And WAPO metal is such a big boom for WAPO that the royal nobles grant him a kingdom in the Black Drum Kingdom. So I'm wondering, based on how important he has been, is he now going to betray the world government based on his fear that he saw who actually runs the world? And the best place to hide, other than with Morgan's, could be with Buggy, seeing as how Buggy's Crossskill seems to be a safe haven for a multitude of previous Arc bosses. And WAPO was the Arc boss of the Drum Kingdom Arc. But you, yes you, if you're liking the content so far, please take a bite out of that subscription button, take a bite out of that like button, and if you can, please click the bell, give it a good bite, and if you can find it, chase down and take a big munchy bite out of that hype button. It's very much appreciated if you are enjoying the content so far. But to continue. So, I could see that being a possibility in the future. What's also quite weird, and this comes out of left field completely, but in the first fight between Luffy and Crocodile, of all characters, Luffy references WAPO because he does an attack on Crocodile called Gummo Gummo no Baku Baku, or Gum Gum Munch Munch, in which he tries to eat Crocodile. Of course, again, this is a reference to WAPO and how WAPO almost ate him back during the events of the Drum Kingdom arc. So I find that very funny. So this weird joke attack could round its way back around to WAPO possibly joining Crossskill in the future, though we'll have to wait and see how things shake out with Morgan's. With that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede. What?